Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst live unboxing. Yeah, so I've got to get my head around all of these different things that I do. Yes, so I'll be opening this beauty this morning. Yes, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Copperhead. Cannot wait to get stuck into that. Thanks to everyone joined already at this early hour of 8 a.m. on the East Coast. No, yeah, it is the East Coast. 6 watching by the looks of things at the moment. Hello to all of you at the moment. I know it's so early. I apologize. You can watch it later if you want. Hello, Diecast Nick. Hello, Future Fortress Maximus. Hello, Joe Barrett, and anyone else that's watching right now that hasn't made a comment. Hope you're having a good morning. Right, yeah, so Copperhead. Sans water moccasin, unfortunately, but I still think this one's going to be a beauty. So I guess without further ado, we should get into it, really, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's get stuck into Copperhead. How? Right, yeah. So if you want to ask any questions, or if you want to just comment silly things, or whatever you want to do, go for it in the comments. Also, if you want to throw us a like or react, however you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, then please go ahead. It's all very, well appreciated, should we say. Anyway, Copperhead, G.I. Joe Classified Series. And again, another interesting, very cool bit of artwork going on this one. Now, I spoke to Oliver Barrett a couple of days ago and posted the interview last night. So if you haven't seen that, then make sure you go check that out after this happens. And also, while I'm here, and I'll say this at the end as well, but I'm also doing an Intel Q&A for my patrons, or our patrons, sorry, after this as well. So if you're a patron of the show, then you'll be expect even more today. It's going to be ridiculous. I'm also interviewing Brian Flynn from Super 7 later today as well. It's a busy day for me. So I expect that interview to be probably come out after the weekend. But yeah, that's going to be happening today. So excited to speak to Brian again for the 5th time. 5 times he's been on the show. Anyway, back to this Classified Series Copperhead. Like I said, spoke to Oliver Barrett, and his artwork shows up on the front here. That little segment right there, very awesome. Those eyes, he even discussed the eyes looking crazy and all that kind of stuff. Very intense visage, and obviously the artwork is also on this side of the box as well, and you can see a little bit more of it with the foliage cutting across and everything. Awesome stuff. My goodness, all people watching from all over the place today. Also, hello Death Valley Machine, hello Jay Malin, hello Shark Eyes, Joe Gardner, and we've got Diecast Nick in the UK. Hello Diecast Nick in the UK. Shark Eyes in Melbourne in Australia. My goodness. Global unboxing indeed. Yeah, to everyone, I hope everyone's and Future Fortress Maximus on the West Coast, wherever you are, let me know. And it's great to know that we've got this wide global reach. One person from each country. That's amazing. Yes, so Oliver Barrett artwork, lovely stuff. Now on the front, and like I said, if you haven't seen that interview, it's available on the YouTube channel. You can watch it after this if you want. If you fancy it, you don't have to. Do whatever you want. Fluffle 57's from Michigan. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So, sorry, Matthew Matson. Yes, I will be asking him a lot of questions about that, because he has actually kind of been on a few, Brian Flynn, that is, has been on a few interviews recently talking about the Ultimates issues. So yeah, we'll be talking about that in detail. Don't have no fear. Right, Copperhead on the front there, you can see the digital render of the figure in this kind of environment, which again is a location homage, I believe. And probably it is. I forget the blooming episode now off the top of my head. I know it's been picked out and found and all that kind of stuff. In actual fact, I know that Plastic Battles, good friend of the show, Paul Panthalone, called it out ages ago on Twitter. So while I'm kind of doing this, I'm gonna multitask and see what Paul put on there, because I say multitask. I can't multitask, can I? I'm awful at it. But anyway, we see on here And plus Paul posted so much since then as well, which is hilarious. Like, it's going to take me about a month to find it, but yeah, you can see the artwork there. It's very, very cool. I love the kind of rendering the environment kind of style. I've been digging these boxes. I think I like these boxes more than I think I'm going to like the window ones when they go back to Windows. And I know I'm like in the minority on that. That is what it is, and I'll accept it. I'll go, okay, we're going window again. That's fine. And I'll be happy for those that are happy they can see the figures again. But there you go. There's the loadout. Not a massive amount at all with him. So we'll see how he kind of fares once out of the box with all that kind of gear. Now we've also got the QR code that effectively takes you to gijoe.com, which I believe takes you to now. I know because I've been on it. I've been on there loads to see if it's updated, but it takes you to the kind of the shop on Hasbro shop, but the G.I. Joe section of it. So that's where the QR code takes you. And I imagine at some point we will have a brand new website kind of updated and all that kind of good stuff that has, all of the, the call out for the skills and abilities, which are also on the back of the box as well here. There you go. So like he likes pirate ships, ammunition, punching people in the face, and holidays in the Bahamas. Brilliant. That's not really what they mean, but without the website, I can't tell you what they mean, and that's upsetting to me now. The funny thing was, I was going to start, when I was doing these unboxings, I was going to start doing a thing where I would check the abilities on the website when I did the unboxings, and now I can't because it doesn't exist and I can't actually do it. So I imagine that's going to happen. There's been no like actual confirmation that they are going to do that, but I assume they are because they're doing QR codes on the box. And unless they just want you to take you to the Hasbro shop, which is fair enough, they might want to do that. It seems a little bit redundant that having done all that it doesn't really take you where it needs to go. By the way, I'm also still trying to multitask here and find where Paul posted all those call outs for this artwork. It was a long time ago. I'll find it, but I'll keep moving. Okay. Every now and again, I'll just do this and then do a thing and then do. Oh, I found it. Okay. No, that's Big Ben and what's it called? Big Ben and Range Viper that you called out there. Anyway, I will get there eventually. Let's open this box. Right. Get the old slice out. This is a really cool little device. A little ceramic blade. You'd be hard pressed to hurt yourself with it. And it cuts through tape very easily indeed. Okay, so we're getting into number 72. That is, for anyone that missed that, this is number 72 on the boxes. Sorry, I've missed loads of comments here. Canada as well, Death Valley Machine. You're in Canada, brilliant. Robert H. So much Joe stuff on the Transformers weekend. Rise of the Beast was a treat. Oh, I do want to see it, mainly due to the spoiler. I won't say it, but the kind of interesting thing that happens at the end of the movie. Awesome figure, says Jennifer. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so first off, we have what I think is the upside down weapons crate. Unless it's like a sideways scenario. Is it a side? Yeah, but if it's a sideways scenario, then it's like there's only one handle on one side. And you've got like Copperhead on the ground. I don't know. I just feel like I preferred the other ones. These ones are a little bit less interesting, in terms of details. We've got one handle on that side and the number. I'll put it the right way up. But then as you go round, that's the right way up. It's got the Cobra on it and everything, the details. Copperhead's the right way up, yada, 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 72. But if this end was the top with the handle on it, right? I assume that's a handle. Yeah, I guess. If that's on the top, then everything's upside down. So I don't really get that. It's got to be like kind of like for display, hasn't it? Like, kind of like a little diorama pieces. So I'm not quite sure about that. Anyway, little legal pamphlet is in there. Boosh. And we've got the baggie. Very light on accessories. I mean, this nearly floated away when I opened the thing. But what are you going to give Copperhead other than a giant blooming water moccasin, which I'm kind of a bit sad that we're not getting. But at the same time, we get in Copperhead, so I guess I'm happy with that. Oh, so I think I found. Yes, I have. So Paul actually found the screenshot of the specific episode where you can see Copperhead um, on his water moccasin, and that's the same uh, little kind of or Mayan temple or Mayan pyramid in the background. And I forget the episode. I'm sure it's that one where they all dress up as Cobra to infiltrate the place and knock him out. But I can't remember what episode that is. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you know, because I've completely forgotten. Morning cheesebaggers. Hi Ed. Cophead, one of my favorites, says DJ 5ash. Ryan Daly, my favorite Cobra. Jennifer says later DC Comics created a character after him called Bane. Lols. These boxes are impressive, says Flaffle57. Harrison Townsend, mine should be here soon. Can't wait. Now bring on Snowjob. Absolutely, actually. Yeah, Snowjob I need to see. Yeah, big time. Can't wait to see the new website, says Future Fortress Maximus. Hopefully they are doing something for it. Flaffle57 says Optimus Primal and Optimus Prime are now in Fortnite. Transformers following G.I. Joe. Yes, they are, aren't they? Happy Friday, Chris. Happy Friday to you as well, Tim. Late but here. I haven't really got into it yet. I'm still getting into the... let's get these out. So like I said, a little light on accessoire, but it's Copperhead. And again, back in the day, he didn't have that much other than a giant water moccasin. So, it is what it is. Right, so starting with the machete. That's a beauty, isn't it? Kind of like that. Nice shape. There's a bit of curvature on it, but that'll bend out. And yeah, like a nice bit of kit that for old Copperhead, just to see the whole handle there as well. Lovely stuff. Jungle Trap. Thank you, Flaffle57. It's from Jungle Trap. That background, not Jungle Book, which is a completely different scenario. Absolutely. Future Fortress Maximus says, am I the only one who wishes the weapons crates were about half the size? Yeah. I actually kind of wish, not that they were half the size, I just kind of wish they'd just stick with those other ones they did, but I guess they're doing it to match the aesthetic, which I get, and that's totally cool, and it mixes, it changes things up a little bit. I'm a bit confused about the design and why it's that way around. It's a bit confusing to me. But anyway, yeah. That's all it is really, isn't it, at the end of the day? That'd be nice. Yeah, a pull-out drawer with form-fitted foam padding would be good, Jonathan. Yes, I like that. I wonder if they're planning a special figure to be 100. I believe 100 comes in the Hiss tank, doesn't it? One of them is 100. I think there's the Hiss driver might be 100. I can't remember what they said on that one, but one of those is 100, I believe. Discount stores have the Fortnite boat for $15, says Matthew Matson. Yeah, so you could always grab one of those, paint it green, and you've effectively got a water moccasin, haven't you? Yeah, 99, 100, and 101 are the Hiss driver, tactician, and gunner. So the tactician is 100. That's awesome. Yeah, cool. DJ 5ash, check inside that box again and make sure the water moccasin isn't in there. Pretty sure it's not in there, mate. Right, carrying on then. We've got a little pistol here, look, a little Luger kind of style pistol. Nice. And then we've got this bad boy with a sight on it. So like a much crazier pistol with sight and a little bit of deco on there, a little bit of silver and black. Lovely stuff. You can see the kind of 6-shooter style little, ammunition type bay. I love that. And the little kind of, yeah, very nice. And his little backpack, leather backpack plug there as well, with ammunition on the outside as well, little bullets, and a little tab that goes over and plugs in when you've got the pistol in there. So that will go in there, and that will tab over and hopefully tab in without much fuss. Yeah, it's in there. Nice one. And it comes out just as I said. I don't think I tabbed it all the way in. Hang on, let me try that again. That's the thing in it with the tabs. Yeah, sometimes you've really got to go at it to get it in there. in that kind of style. Whereas like other ways where it's kind of like, I don't know, is that in there? I think it is. Watch it come out again. Wait for it. No, we're good. It's in there now. Right. So that brings us on to Copperhead inside here. So as we said before, the homage on the front is from the Jungle Trap episode. And there he is. Like, it was funny yesterday when I opened Rock and Roll and his head was all the way over to the side, like he was sleeping legitimately. Copperhead's got a little lean going on, little gangster lean, but there he is with that wonderful black and white Oliver Barrett artwork in the background. Oh, there he is. Mean looking dude. Awesome. Let's get him out. Again, very simple. These little ties now are so easy. You just literally twist and it's done like that. It's so easy now. And then, of course, on the bottom as well to get his little leggies out. I was messing about with this yesterday while I was talking on the camera, and I don't know why it took me so long because it is the most simple, like, removal scenario ever. There we go. And there is the black and white Oliver Barrett artwork. As I said before, you can check out my interview with Oliver Barrett. It was so much fun chatting with him. Top fella and a really talented artist. And he's doing some really awesome stuff with the Classified series, including the His Tank, which he's done that massive interior for, which was posted a little while ago. Okay, so straight out of the box again, I'm very happy with his articulation, and everything moves nicely and there are no like loose parts right now. And there he is. Isn't he gorgeous? I like the let's have a quick look with my eyes. I will say that the chest paint is a different color than the arms, so that is interestingly odd. It's not so much that it really detracts, but I did just notice that as I had that up there. And there we've got the head sculpt as well, and the eyes in there, which again look pretty mean. That helmet is wicked. I love it. I cannot wait to see this. I mean, this has got to be Pythonized. I cannot wait to see that. I want to see this Pythonized. And of course, you've got the secondary, which goes over the chest there, which has got a kind of faux kind of pistol holster in there. Because he's got the holster on his thigh, with a tab again for the smaller pistol, and the bigger pistol obviously will go into his back on a backpack peg like so. So let's pop all that in. There we go. Oh, the tab's come off again. That might be an ongoing issue by the looks of things, the tab, which is a shame, isn't it? Because I don't know if there's like a better. Well, there are better ways of doing it because we've seen them, but that unfortunately is not tabbing in. Maybe it'll just take a little bit of time to bend and flex and stay in position. I mean, it's in there now, but I've got a feeling that's going to go boink at any moment. We've also got, let's look at the rest of his body. So he's got the silver sigil on his chest, the green vest. I could see that being used for some dreadnoughts, honestly, that kind of vest body. Yeah, that looks a little bit kind of, yeah, I could see that. A little bit of side boob there from him. Lovely. He's got those arm secondaries. Those come right off, actually. They slide right down. I've pushed them up over his biceps so they're kind of like secure. And then you've got a little tattoo. Loving the tattoos at the moment on the Classified series. Let's get that round there. And it's Ace of Spades, is that? Pretty cool. Love it. With that is a pretty nice tattoo, actually. Actually, nice little tampo. It's a lot darker in reality than it is on this lighting. It's kind of really like grey and faded out there, but you look at it, it's like, no, it's actually really prominent in real life. So yeah, neat. Again, let's have a look at the belt going around. He's got that kind of like secondary belt with the machete holster in the side there. Nice, goes all the way around. It's got that texture on it as well. There's loads of nice little textures on this. It's lovely stuff. You've got the panels and the kind of interior padding in that like brighter green on the dark green. Goes all the way down the legs to the boots there, as you can see, and over the little knees. And yeah, he's got those like cool gloves with the green padding on them. Very nice. And then like the little wrist guards as well, or the wrist pieces that go probably, I imagine, are just part of the gloves in universe. And then you got his chunky boots. He's got some big old clodhoppers going on, hasn't he? Chunky old boots. So that's that. Let me put all of his gear in. So pistol's going in his holster on the side, and then I will tab that over. Yeah, you see the problem I'm having here. Oh, that tabbed in. Like, no worries. Lovely stuff. Okay, that's in. Didn't really take much messing about either. I wonder if it's just a. Oh well, yeah, because the top one's untabbed already. Look, top one's untabbed. I think the top one I may have trouble with. The thigh holsters one looks fine, but yeah, I'm going to have issues with that top one, unless maybe it's not in all the way. No, it's just definitely just not tabbing in tight enough. And then let's put the machete in there. Not like that. Yeah, like that. Is it that way round? I'm going to put it that felt right. The other way didn't work. We tried it the other way, but it didn't work. Looks like it goes in that way. I love the fact that the machete is completely exposed as well. That's hilarious. We didn't cover the leather-cladded codpiece shark eyes. Good eyes. And also, if I move the secondary belt up, which it's kind of like connected to the side a little bit. That's interesting or weird. I don't know which one, but the belt covers a really cool belt buckle. So the secondary belt is covering that really dope belt buckle and the leather codpiece. Yeah, we won't avoid that elephant in the room, elephant in the groin. And the thing is, obviously, the secondary belt is actually connected to this side here. It's like fused. So it sits like across the belt buckle, like that's the most, like if you bend it down, like you can see the belt kind of flexing a little bit. So like as it sits naturally, it kind of covers that completely. I guess they want to do kind of like a double belt, sort of like that, maybe. That kind of works. But yeah, it seems a shame that it covers that a little bit. Hail Hydra. Yeah, it is a Hydra kind of style, isn't it? Definitely. All right, well, the tab has stayed in at the top now. So maybe it just needed some work. Maybe needed some work in there. I don't know. I think we're okay. I think it's just a matter of getting it warmed up, getting it in there, moving it a bit, flexing it, and there it stays. So there we have it. Copperhead. He really is light on accessories, but if you look at him as a figure, he's technically got loads going on. So he's got, like, you know, obviously the knife, the pistol, the secondary, the backpack, which is untabbed, hilariously, as I say that. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I thought I'd gotten away with it for a second there, but no. No, it looks like my only issue with Copperhead here on this one is going to be that tab, which is a shame. That is genuinely a shame. I might forego that backpack for now and just have him holding this pistol, because we want to see him hold some stuff, haven't we? I guess when you have like a wave like this and you've got figures like who do we Rock and Roll, who's got, like, you know, quite a lot of accessories. Torpedo, quite a lot of accessories. Who else? Shipwreck, he's got, you know, poly, alternate hair. He's got, like, again, a decent amount of accessories. There's going to be one in the line that's probably going to have to suffer a little bit, but, like, you know, have to, like, dial it back a touch. So I think with Copperhead, he's probably the one that makes the most sense to have the fewest. By the way, his elbows are extremely stiff, so I'm going to be super careful with them. I might get some heat on those afterwards, but that still works. He looks pretty dope. Pistol goes in, you know, comfortably in that hand. And yeah, there he is. Very nice indeed. Love the deco. The greens just work so well on this guy, don't they? That kind of bright green and the dark green. And I kind of almost, like, I think I can't remember if my Copperhead was the one with the because I have two Copperheads from my youth. One of them I bought through the Moccasin, obviously. The other one, though, I got from a friend of mine who we were kids in, like, when was it? It would have been the last year of maybe infant school. When did Cophead come out in the UK? It's gotta be. I've got to just double check this because I've got to get my history right here, where I was in little school and everything. Um, so basically, basically, I was planning the school prom. It was the first time we'd had a prom because it was something we'd seen on like Saved by the Bell or something, or multiple American movies and TV shows. So we thought we would have one at like an end of school dance, but we called it a prom, even though it was like tiny little kids kind of scenario. And it looks like it is 87 diecast, Nick. Thank you. The water moccasin came out in 87 in the UK. So I would have been like 6 years old. So as a 6-year-old, me and my friend Sue Mellon, shout out to Sue. I went round her house to help plan this prom. Like we were told to plan it. Can you believe that? We were 6 years old. We went to plan it. And then, it was the rebrand. Yeah, it was the 87 Action Force International Heroes rebrand one I got, not the one they released in Palatoy, if that was the case in 85. Let me just double check that as well. I think, Copperhead was 85 as well. But in my Copperhead, the International Heroes one was the one I had. So, good point, diecast, Nick, and well made. So, so I went around her house, and she had like this incredible Barbie collection, and She-Ra, I believe, as well. Like she had so many toys. It was like I was kind of jealous because I had my fair share of toys. Don't get me wrong, but she was like on the next level, like the Barbie Dream House and that kind of stuff. I was like sitting there just like, I want to play with this stuff. Looks amazing. And so we're kind of in the house planning this prom. And we're in her brother, like her younger brother, her older brother's bedroom, and she pulled a drawer open, and inside were a load of like figures and toys and stuff, and one of them was a Copperhead figure, and I think he came in and said, "Oh, you can have that if you're a GI Joe or an Action Force fan or whatever at the time," and I was just like, "What?" So actually, it could have been a little later because obviously I had Copperhead already. This guy had Copperhead already, so we might not have been 6. We might have been a little bit older. That might have been pushing it. So I would have been a little bit older than that. No way we would have been 6 years old planning proms. It would have been the last year of either infant or junior school. God, how old would I have been? Hard to remember. Let's just say 89. Let's say that era probably would have been the time that we did this. So he gave me this Copperhead. Obviously, I already had Copperhead. So he gave me this Copperhead, and when I got it home, I noticed they were different. One of them had like green gloves, one of them didn't. It was like a lot of like brighter green gloves. So I was like, "Ooh, variant." And then I kind of read up later that the word difference is obviously US and UK, but it might have just been Palatoy and International Heroes, and I've never noticed. Anyway, I don't know why I took you on that ride, but shout out to Sue. And we planned a hell of a prom. And I believe I wore a shell suit. So that should also date it as well. I remember wearing a crazy, awesomely terrible shell suit for that prom. And that was like a thing that, you thought you looked cool in back then. Wow. The things we did. Anyway, wonderful figure. Copperhead looks awesome. And I'm kind of hoping that we do see this guy Pythonized at some stage, because it just seems so obvious, doesn't it? It's like such a home run of an opportunity for a repaint. We've got like the Televiper as well that's out now with the Python Patrol. Sorry, with the Trouble Bubble. I could see them Python Patrol Pythonized as well. Maybe even just the Televiper, and they bring it out as like a single carded figure. Now, I've plugged this in without the pistol in it, and it seems to be like quite tight and nice and in there. And I think the problem is when the pistol's in there, the as it's pushed through, it can't go all the way in because it's pushing against the pistol. That's probably why I'm having issues with it. So it might just take a little bit of moving around, but the tab does work, and it works flush and clean. and it stays in there. So I think, see, so I think it's definitely the fact that the pistol's in there, and that might just be a bit of, yeah, it's gonna. I'm trying to pull it out, and it's got some resistance. That's got to be what it is. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to mess around with it off camera while I talk to you guys and answer some of these questions, if there are any. Ed says, what do you think Copperhead is missing or could have been plussed up by including? I think he was a good choice to be a little light on extras. Exactly what I was saying there, Ed. Yes. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think he was the best choice of the lot to go light on extras. I would say, what else could he come with? I don't know. There's all sorts of things you could probably do. He could probably have come with some sort of small animal. I'm not saying he should have been a figure and pet, but like, you know how Shipwreck comes with a, you know, with Polly, they could have done some sort of small copperhead snake. Just saying, that would have been kind of a fun little addition. and then you know, you got things like a rifle, which, you know, like a decent sized hefty rifle, like maybe some sort of like dreadnought style old school sniper rifle of some description, you know, like a long rifle that looks a little bit tatty. It's got like, you know, wrapping on it, make it a little bit dreadnoughty, because I just see Copperhead very much as one of the swamp dwelling dreadnoughts, even though he's definitely more Cobra than dreadnoughts. I feel like he's just too associated with them, the swamp, and, you know, the water moccasin, and the fact that you see him in the cartoon a lot with them. So I think, yeah, like I would say like maybe some sort of rifle would have been cool. Like, again, like a bit of like an old school kind of long rifle that's wrapped up in a bit gross would have been pretty fun. But yeah, I'd like to get him like a little copperhead snake. That would have been kind of cute. And again, adds more fun little animals to the mix. Yeah, I'm definitely, the problem with this is the fact that the gun is inside, preventing the space on the other side for the tab to kind of completely come through the other side. So it doesn't matter how much I push it. As I push it, I'm just pushing it against the pistol. So that might be one of those things where you get lucky or you have trouble with it. And I think I'm just going to have trouble with it. As soon as I take the pistol out and push it in, it goes in no problem, and tabs and holds. It's frustrating, that, because, well, what I'll do is I'll still have him holding the pistol, and he can just have the backpack without the tab sticking up like a sword, like he's Ninja Force Copperhead. But yeah, I definitely, you know, I would have gone probably with at least a long rifle and a little snake, and there you would have had, you know, a few more little things to kind of go with it, and, you know, maybe even have we got any small snakes other than the big? No, I think it's just the big snake we have at the moment, isn't it? And the two baby crocs. But yeah, Super Sign hates the green instead of teal. I guess it was a little bit more teal, wasn't it? I guess it was. So I'm just going to have another look at Copperhead on here, so I can get like a image of the two, as it takes ages. Yeah, I guess there is more of a teal vibe going on there, isn't there? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Definitely like a teal and green, and they've gone with just a more light. And then you've got the green gloves as well, like the bright green gloves. And yeah, like they've gone definitely. It's more subtle, isn't it? I guess they've kind of made it a little bit more. In fact, I can hold both up, can't I? Really? Let's just do that. Shout out, Blood for the Baron. So you can see they're like not crazy good, because obviously it's on a screen. There we go. Might be a bit better. But yeah, there's definitely a more kind of teal vibe on the original, and they've gone with like that. Like I said, that kind of two-tone green. I like it. I dig it. I think it's beautiful. And again, like subtle, more subtlety, even with that bright kind of neon on there. And again, like cool. I think there's not much else to really say, though, is there? Like, again, like when he's got the fewer accessories, everything's pretty cool on it. Like what he comes with is dope. The only thing I have an issue with is I can't get the tab in when the pistol's in there. And again, other people might have been able to do so. So I'll keep trying. And that will be my mission, would be to get that blooming thing tabbed in with the pistol in there. Because the other one is perfectly fine. That has stayed in the entire time. There's a little bit of space there for it to operate in as well. You can see the little gap between the pistol and where the actual side of the holster is. There's some lovely textures on this one as well, actually. Like especially on the legs, you get a real nice kind of texturized kind of material. Lovely stuff. And again, like the boots are nicely textured too. There we go. Right, let's talk about any of these comments that are coming in. Sorry. Muck around and find out. Yeah. Ryan says he's a card cheat. Give him playing cards or a wad of cash. Ah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. Because obviously, yeah, that relates to his tattoo as well, doesn't it? On his like he's got a card up his sleeve kind of thing. Marcio Eduardo Santos Edu is from Brazil. Nice to have you on the show. Apologies, I'm just going to assume you're saying that you're from Brazil. So great to have you on here. Apologies for my ignorance, and thank you so much for watching. Here's a question: if Copperhead had a pet, what would you give him? Probably a Copperhead. It's easy for me, Shark Eyes, on that one. Oh, sorry, that was before, and Chris just torpedoed my question. Apologies, Shark Eyes. I didn't see that. I promise I didn't see that. And but I would definitely give him a Copperhead as a pet, or a weasel, a little weasel just hanging around. I love weasels. I say that word a lot for some reason. It makes me laugh. I think it's from watching loads of Blackadder and shows like that, because I used to say weasel a lot in that, and Red Dwarf. I'm pretty sure they said the word weasel in that too. Oh, that's a good point, Tim. Yeah, I hope we have our HasLab ripcord unlocked by the end of the weekend. Fingers crossed. I know. Feels like it's slowed a little bit. But then again, I've got a feeling what will happen, because this happened with the Hiss Tank, what I feel will happen is they will do kind of like a pre-reveal before they get the unlock. And that will be enough of an incentive to get it kind of moving at pace again. We are at, currently, for the HasLab, as he looks, 11,989. So very close to 12,000 backers. And then we'll need 1,000 more to get to Ripcord. And then I would imagine we'll see probably a reveal before that happens, I would expect. I'm just hoping I can heat that tab into a permanent folded position. Heat's probably the way forward. But it's not like it's like it goes in so nicely. Like you can see, it hasn't moved since. It's just when the pistol's in there, there's not enough room inside for the extra bit of tab to get through the other side and protrude. And it's not that much, so I don't know why it's having such a difficulty with it. Ninja Force Copperhead, we need it now. Absolutely. Just all pink. I would love hot pink Copperhead would be dope. And he would have 0 ninja ability. Yeah, he's just a card cheat water moccasin pilot. What's he going to do ninja-wise? A few people like the green. Not much more to say than release the moccasin. Absolutely, Shark Eyes. Yeah, I'm tempted to get that Fortnite boat now, just because I could really see that working very nicely with him. And this is the thing, right? If they do end up doing a water moccasin, they're going to do it without Copperhead, or they're going to have to do a repaint where he's got the bright green, or maybe they do like more of a retro, like a teal inspired deco. Maybe that's what they do. That could be great, actually. I would be into that if they did like a retro version, but with a water moccasin, and it was the teal instead of the green. That'd be sick. Oh, and the bright green gloves. That'd be dope. Yeah, if they revealed the third unlocked tier, Ripcord would be backed in an hour. Death Valley Machine. That's very true. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny because I think it's a weird psychological thing, because I don't think it makes any difference to me. Like, I want to see the reveal, so you back it. But at the same time, some people may be thinking, I want to see the reveal before I back it. But at the same time, just think about it. You don't get charged until the end, so you can always back out. Yeah, I mean, if you just want to see what the stuff is, Just go in for it. And then after the fact, you can go like, yeah, I'm not into it. I'm not from as a whole, I like it, I'm gonna stay in, or as a whole, I don't like it, I can come out. That's probably a better way of doing it. And then at least you see what you're gonna get at the end of the day. Great 0001 says, if you're into RC, I just purchased an Aero Trooper, a little pricey, but will make an awesome moccasin. Wow, I want to see images of that. Could you message us on the either on the Facebook page or something, Grape, with an image of that? Because I would love to see that. I would Google it myself, and I will probably afterwards. A little loose on the hip there, boop, 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 boop. But actually not. It stays where it is. I don't know why that was loose there. Maybe it's just that position when it was in that particular position. It's funny when you push it up, there's a little bit of give. When you pull it down, it's kind of locked into place. Interesting there. I thought I might mention it as it happened on screen though. Yeah, so I'd love to see that. Do we think Hasbro will reveal anything new today, digital renders or such? Harrison, it's a possibility, isn't there? Especially considering I have the weekly to plan for today. And usually what happens is I get everything done and then they drop something on me, or I'm in the middle of it and they drop something on me and I have to redo something for the weekly video. So yeah, I think it's a high possibility we see something. Or if not today, definitely next week it'll ramp up again. In fact, we will be getting, I should say, because we know, don't we? We had that little leak recently of Entertainment Earth posting pre-orders for Yojo June. And if I remember correctly, which I don't, because that's why I'm looking for it, we have the list of dates for pre-order segments. So there's going to be specifically something to pre-order on, was it the 14th? What are we now, the 9th? I think it's the 14th. Let me just quickly find the post. And he can't because it's posted so much during Yojo June. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Was it that? No. Anyway, there's a couple of dates. I think it's the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the comments. But I think we're going to see... Sorry, I've taken your thing down. I'll keep that up while I'm talking about Harrison, sorry. But yeah, I believe those are the dates for kind of pre-order spots. So we're definitely going to see something on those particular days. Now, are we going to see digital renders dropped in and around? Pretty likely, because I feel like we've had... The first one was kind of like at that pre-recorded kind of vibe. That's probably going to be what's happening for the other, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. Again, I keep saying those dates, but I'm not 100% sure they are the exact dates. So I apologize if I'm off on that. And again, yeah, 14, 21, and 28. Thank you, Ryan. That saves me faffing about on here. So I'm glad I got that right. So I would almost, I don't know what happened there. I would almost expect, you know, like some things dribbled in and around there, Harrison. So what's the 14th? That is a... I'm so unprepared today. What is the 14th? It is a Wednesday next week. So Wednesday next week, you could definitely see, couldn't you, like a cheeky like digital render that has nothing to do with maybe what's happening, or maybe does have something to do with what's happening, dropped like Monday or Tuesday, or both days. They could reveal digital renders over all of it, and then the Wednesday could be the, you know, the actual physical product, and, you know, the pre-orders and everything. So we've got, like I said, yeah, the 14th, the 21st, which is also a Wednesday, and the 28th, which is also a Wednesday. So they're doing absolute Wednesdays. They are doing wicked Wednesdays, aren't they? One-stream Wednesdays. What am I talking about? It's too early for this crap. Yeah, so Harrison, to answer your question, probably we'll see some stuff. And we're going to see some, we know we're going to see some stuff on the 14th, 21st, and 28th, don't we? Yeah, not too worried about the HasLab either on that one, Future Fortress Maximus. Yeah, the slowdown after the first couple of days tracks with previous history, 100%. Even the Histack did the same thing. It shot up there, It funded, it opened obviously the early bird comfortably, and then it kind of rattled through, and then it hit that ceiling, and then it slowed right down, and then we got some reveals, and it ramped up, and then it really rocketed once Retro Cobra Commander was revealed as well. So that really, threw that thing into the stratosphere. Yeah, there is a decent 3D printed water moccasin. I'm sure there is, Harrison. I've seen a few. Pink and bronze, he could drive the Ninja jet ski. Ninja Force Copperhead would be amazing. Deke depicted Copperhead as set troops in. Yeah, true. There were like a lot of Copperheads at one point in the Deke cartoon, weren't there? Yeah, I guess they're going to be. That's a good point. They have 2 to 3 more Yojo June videos to drop hints and stuff to help push the HasLab. That's a good point. They might be doing it within there as well. They might be showing things off within those little pre-recorded segments. It might be like, here's your pre-orders and here's a reveal for the HasLab kind of vibe. I do love this figure. Again, the silhouette, the look, the vibe, the deco. Yeah, he's really nice, really nice. But like I said, probably the best figure out of the wave, as Ed said as well, to minimize some of the accessories. And he still comes with a bit of gear. Like, he is not the least accessorized figure in the line by far. There are so many figures that came with just like one thing or like a couple of things. So yeah, like he's doing well. It's definitely that thing of like comparing it to the stuff you have in front of you, basically. Neil Hill says, I wasn't sure how I would feel about a vehicle driver without their vehicle, but Copperhead turned out to be one of my favorite classifieds so far. I kind of feel what you're saying there, Neil. It sucks that he doesn't come with the water moccasin, but it's still a dope figure. I remember vividly, I got the water moccasin and the Triple T at the same time. And I was at my Auntie Di's house. Shout out to my Auntie Diane. And I was having a bath. I was only little. I was having a bath, and I had the water moccasin in the bath, playing around with it, and it was so much bloody fun. Also, though, sadder news, and I have talked about this on the show before. I lost Sergeant Slaughter's baton in my Auntie Di's very luscious living room carpet. So unfortunately, that was lost. But I did enjoy playing in the bath with my Copperhead and the water moccasin. That might have also been the same weekend that the dog Snoopy chewed my Scoop figure, got the Scoop figure in his mouth, chewed the helmet up, and swallowed the little mouthpiece from the headset mouthpiece. Dad got the headset out of Snoopy's mouth. I'm not blaming the dog, like poor Snoopy. He's a lovely dog, beautiful thing, and it was all kind of like, it had like the kind of stress marks on it, like marble. So I do still have my Scoop in his helmet, and Scoop was fine. So the helmet worked; it saved his life. But he did swallow the headset, and Dad wasn't gonna go into Snoopy's poop afterwards and try and fish it out. So I agree. Like, don't. That's fine. I don't need the headset. It's all good. Oh, Joe Fest. Yeah, Neil Hill's heading to Joe Fest. Awesome. Enjoy that, buddy. Ray Murphy is at Joe Fest. Oh, so sorry I couldn't meet you there, Ray. That would have been great seeing you in person, buddy. Just bumped into Sergeant Slaughter in the lift. Amazing. Say hi to the Sarge from me. He won't remember me at all. I shook his hand. I was dressed as Lightfoot. And he shook Kate's hand, and she was dressed as him. It was amazing. So, yeah, that's great, man. Have a great time, everybody who's there. I'm not humping Joe Day, Neil Hill. It does feel like that, though, doesn't it? The Wednesdays, like it's the hump day, so that's when they're going to drop these pre-order things on you. I'm just excited to see who the next unlock is, hoping for Airborne. Airborne's got to be high up there, hasn't he, Tim? He's got to be high up there. Like I did say on a previous stream, we were aware that Ripcord was going to be coming in that first kind of like tier. So, but we didn't want to say anything. We didn't want to ruin the surprise. But that was an interesting one, and we were kind of like, oh, interesting, because we just thought Airborne was going to be a lock. Maybe he's like at the end. Maybe he gets stuck at the end. Who knows? Who knows? Thank you, DJ5 Ash. Interview was great yesterday. Loved it when he had to shut the door to yell full force because he didn't want to have he said, doesn't want his wife to make fun of him. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Oliver's a great guy. Had such a good chat. And yeah, he's working on other G.I. Joe stuff in the future. Cannot wait to see what that will be. He's done the His Tank interior. He's done all the artwork for Rock and Roll, Copperhead, Torpedo, and Shipwreck. And of course, he did the first Destro as well, the first card art for Destro from the first wave of classified figures back in like 2020. Crazy. Robert H. Yeah, compare him to Roadblock, who has one big gun, a super tiny knife, and an ammo clip. Absolutely. The carpet monster indeed, Flaffle. Yes. It was Shagpile, Matthew. I just didn't want to say. I didn't want to say shag in the same sentence as I was describing it was my auntie dies. Yeah, I don't want to go into that. So yeah, it was Shagpile carpet. So yeah, and it swallowed it up, and I never saw it again. Shark Eyes said, Chris, when do you envisage making a trip to Joe Fest next? Not sure. It's just one of those things at the moment where we have to kind of like be very careful with where we go in travel wise in terms of like, other life things, like looking to buy a house and stuff like that. It kind of takes a lot of your focus and money and all that kind of stuff. So we kind of have to minimize that stuff at the moment. So eventually when we're kind of like settled and sorted, maybe we'll make that trip again. But I hope everyone has a great weekend at Joe Fest. That brings us to the end of this particular video. But before we go, let's have a few more. If there are any more questions and stuff, we'll do a little bit more. But first off, let's transition so that I can put my name on screen. I realize I could just click the different one and it probably just pops it straight on and you don't even see anything any different. I don't know. I just like to split this stuff up into different segments. Anyway, Copperhead, very awesome. Let's do a quick summary before we go. We have a pretty awesome, in general, figure. Like I said, happy here with the head sculpt. Looks awesome. I love the kind of squint and like one of the eyes and everything. And the deco on the helmet's pretty dope as well. You've got the kind of silver in the kind of mouthpiece there and the black piece on there and all of the kind of like detail in the brighter green. It's just very nice, cool shape head sculpt. And I like it very much. Of course, we've got the secondary with the faux kind of like pistol holster on here. It doesn't actually hold anything. And on the back, we've got the backpack pistol holder, which actually has a cool tab, but I'm finding it very difficult to get the tab in when the pistol is in there. So that's the only drawback I'm having so far. There's also those nice little green touches on the secondary on the back as well, which is nice. Again, got the silver Cobra sigil. We've got the secondaries on the biceps here, which again slide down and come off. We've got his cool tattoo, like the ace up his sleeve kind of tattoo because he's a card cheat. We've got the dope pistol with the sight that he comes with. We've got the other pistol that he comes with, which locks into that holster very nicely. And we've got the nice textured belt that goes around here and is actually fused on one side and is loose on the machete side. And of course, the machete, which again, like say, like kind of sheaths in there and is still really dangerous because the blade's sticking out. and then you've got that really nice kind of silver Hydra belt buckle, leather cod piece with studs, and then you've got the nice padding, interior padding, exterior thigh padding in bright kind of neon green, and then the dark green on the legs with some nice textures, and then you've got those chunky old boots again with some very nice details and some nice kind of like, again, just some lovely kind of texture on there and some cool detailing. Just very, very cool. Really happy with this figure. Love him. It's Copperhead, 100%. And I can definitely see down the road a couple of repaints here, honestly. I could see Python, 100%. And I could see them doing some sort of retro-inspired one with that kind of teal base color instead of the dark green. So I could definitely see them doing those two things at some point. Flaffle. Let's talk about that quickly. Heard a rumor that his tanks might be shipping early, late summer versus fall. Isn't that freaking awesome? Hopefully that is a good rumor. That would be freaking amazing if that's the case. I guess we'll find out because they will be talking about that. They'll probably update us with some hiss information. Hiss information sounds like misinformation. Some hiss information, I imagine, on some of these pre-recorded videos that they've got planned. Yeah. Super happy how he turned out, says Death Valley Machine. Copperhead is 10 out of 10, says Shark Eyes. Is there a canon reason he has that Hydra belt buckle? Not really sure on that one. Probably not. I don't think so. I don't think there is a direct reference there. Ed says, I don't buy it. Nothing ships early anymore. You say that, but in Europe it does, or, elsewhere, Canada. But it's just the US that don't get it early, Ed. Ryan's UPS workers might go on strike causing shipping delays, says Ryan. Hopefully they can ship them early then in that case. That is a concern, isn't it? But yeah, anyway, Copperhead, absolute beauty. And thank you very much to everyone who joined in this morning. Like I said, I've got for any of our patrons, in an hour or so, I'll be doing an Intel Live for you guys. And then I'll be speaking to Brian later this afternoon. And that interview probably won't come out till next week, though, because I've got to get a few things, a few graphics set up for that scenario. And that requires Brian Sauer, who is currently at Joe Fest. So he won't be able to do a couple of those things. So I'll be recording the interview today, but we'll get it out probably next week at some point. And that gives me some time to edit it, I guess, as well. So I hope you guys are cool with that. We've also got the weekly on Saturday, but I'll be doing an unboxing of Shipwreck first thing beforehand. So you can have a little warm-up. We'll probably do that about 8:30. That'll take us to about 9:30. And then we'll have enough time then to prepare for the weekly at 10. All Eastern time, by the way, EST. And Travis Moody is joining me for that particular episode. So shout out to Trav from A Toy Kind of Mood. Pat, of course, is at Joe Fest as well, so he's enjoying himself. To everyone else who is in the chat, who is going or is there, have a great time. I hope you have say hi to anyone I know. And also go and see Adam, who's going to be there, Adam Riches, and Pat, who's also there from the show, and go and tell them how much you love them and what they do, and of course how much you love the Full Force. Anywho, I will be back, like I said, for all of those things. I'm already exhausted, but I will see you guys then. From me and from Copperhead, stay fresh cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do, team. 1, 2, 3. Full Force. Laters taters.
That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, Full Force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter at The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.